All right, today we're going to break down one of the most important documents in history, the Declaration of the Rights of Man. Think of this as your user's guide to a truly revolutionary idea.
But first, let's start with a question. I want you to imagine something. What if the rules of the society you lived in were specifically designed to be unfair? Like you're playing a game, but it's rigged from the start, so only a few people can ever win. Well, that's pretty much the world this document came from.
So, to really get why this declaration was such a big deal, we have to rewind the clock to France in 1789. And let's be clear, for most people, it was an incredibly unfair place to live.
Okay, so here's the deal. French society was basically split into three groups called estates. And the division was, well, insane. On one side, you had the nobles and the clergy. They made up just 2% of the population. But get this, they held all the power and paid almost zero taxes. And on the other side, literally everyone else. This group, the Third Estate, was 98% of the people, and they were stuck paying all the taxes with absolutely no say in how things were run.
And if that wasn't bad enough, you had a king with absolute power who could pretty much do whatever he wanted. At the same time, most ordinary people were struggling with hunger and the crazy high price of food, like bread. You mix that kind of inequality with that much suffering, and you've got a pressure cooker just waiting to explode.
So, when you're faced with a system that's so completely broken, what do? Well, the people of France decided it was time to tear up the old rulebook and write a completely new one. And that, right there, was the revolution's big idea. Their goal was really simple, but also incredibly powerful. They wanted to write down, in black and white, a clear list of rights that every single person has. The idea was to make them so official that no king, no government could ever ignore them or just pretend they didn't exist again. This was going to be the foundation for a whole new, fairer society. So what was actually in this new rulebook? Let's break down the new deal it created for every single person.
The biggest, most game-changing idea was this concept of natural rights. The idea is that you are born with certain core rights. They're not a gift from a king, a government can't give them to you, which means a government can't take them away. They are yours, just because you are a human being.
The Declaration laid out four big ones. First up, liberty. That's the freedom to do anything you want as long as you're not hurting somebody else. Then, property. The right to own your things and know they're secure. Third, security. This is your protection from being treated unfairly by the government. And fourth, and this was a huge one, resistance to oppression. The actual right to stand up to a government if it's being cruel and unjust.
It also completely redesigned the justice system, trying to flip it from unfair to fair. Number one, you could only be arrested if a specific law said so. No more people getting thrown in jail for no reason. Number two, you were considered innocent until proven guilty. The whole legal process had to be fair and transparent. And finally, punishments had to actually fit the crime and be something society genuinely needed.
This new thinking also led to massive new freedoms for what people could think and say. The Declaration guaranteed freedom of opinion, which meant you couldn't be punished for what you believed, including your religious beliefs. It also set up freedom of speech, giving everyone the right to speak, write, and print their ideas. I mean, that's absolutely essential if you want to hold powerful people accountable.
But, the Declaration wasn't just about giving rights to individuals. It was also about putting strict new limits on the government itself. It was a whole new set of rules for the rulers.
And to get this, we need to understand a key term, sovereignty. It sounds like a complicated word, but it just means the ultimate power to rule a country. It answers the simple question, who's the boss? And here is where the Declaration completely flips the script. The old idea was that the king was the boss because his power came from God. That was it. The new idea? No way. The people are the boss. All power comes from the nation, from the citizens themselves.
It all comes down to this one incredible line right from the document. The principle of all sovereignty resides essentially in the nation. Just think about that. In one sentence, the ultimate authority to rule was transferred from one king to millions of citizens. That, right there, is the bedrock of modern democracy. So, what does this power to the people actually look like in the real world? Well, it had huge consequences, especially when it came to taxes. The whole system got flipped from the old way, where the poor paid for almost everything, to a new, fairer system where the tax burden was shared based on what people could actually afford to pay. And for the first time ever, the people in charge had to answer to the public.
Government officials were now required to explain their decisions and show how they were spending the people's money. This is a concept we call accountability, and it's a critical way to prevent corruption and abuses of power.
Okay, so this was all written down more than 200 years ago in France. You might be thinking, why does this matter to me today? Well, it matters because these ideas were so big, they didn't just stay in France. They spread all over the world. The Declaration essentially became a blueprint for modern democracy. Its ideas inspired countless human rights movements across the globe, and its principles are the foundation of many, many constitutions that are still in use today. That core value of equality before the law, the idea that the law should treat everybody the same, that comes directly from this document. It really did fundamentally change how we think about freedom and government.
So as we wrap up, I want you to really think about it. From your freedom to post your opinions online, to your right to own your things, to the simple fact that you are considered innocent until proven guilty, which of these revolutionary rights from over 200 years ago do you think matters the most in your life today?